They thought humiliating her in front of 200 students would break her forever, but they had no idea they were lighting a fire that would burn their entire world down. What happened next shocked the entire school. Stick around till the end, and don't forget to subscribe for more unbelievable true stories that'll give you goosebumps. When Emma Carter walked into Jefferson High that chilly Monday morning, she didn't know the day would change her life forever. She was the quiet girl, the one who always sat near the window, sketching faces in her worn-out notebook, dreaming of art school while everyone else was chasing likes and popularity. Her old sneakers and second-hand clothes made her a target for bullies like Rachel Myers, the self-proclaimed queen of the senior class, and her posse of mean girls, Chloe and Hannah. To them, Emma's silence wasn't peace, it was weakness. What they didn't know was that Emma had been silent because she was listening, observing, remembering every cruel word, and she was planning something they'd never see coming. It started in the cafeteria, the one place Emma dreaded most. That day, Rachel decided to make a point in front of everyone. She snatched Emma's sketchbook from her hands, flipped through the pages, and mockingly showed the drawings to the crowd. "Oh look, it's her fantasy world, because she'll never belong in the real one," Rachel shouted, laughter exploding around her. Emma stood frozen, her heart pounding, eyes stinging. Then came the slap, sharp, loud, and humiliating. Rachel struck her across the face, and the entire cafeteria fell silent before bursting into laughter again. 200 students witnessed it. Not one stood up for her. But Emma didn't cry, she didn't scream, she just looked at Rachel, calm, steady, and chillingly quiet. That night, she went home and took out a box from under her bed. Inside it were dozens of letters, rejections, insults, names. But beneath them, there was something else, a sketchbook she had never shown anyone. It contained portraits of every student, teacher, and bully, each drawn with haunting precision. She spent the night scanning and editing them, turning each image into something powerful, truthful depictions of who they really were behind the masks they wore. She titled the project, Behind Their Faces. By morning, she had uploaded everything anonymously to a new Instagram account. Within hours, it went viral. Each sketch was raw, emotional, and painfully accurate. Rachel's portrait showed her as a puppet master, strings tied to dozens of smaller figures labeled followers. Chloe's showed a broken mirror reflecting 1,000 fake smiles. Hannah's was a silhouette, hollow and fading into the background, forever trying to fit in. People started sharing them, commenting, connecting. By noon, #BehindTheirFaces was trending. The whole school was buzzing. Teachers called an emergency assembly, trying to find out who was behind it. Meanwhile, Rachel was furious, her reputation collapsing faster than she could post a denial. The whispers turned against her. The same crowd that laughed at Emma yesterday now avoided Rachel today. Then things took a darker turn. Someone leaked a private video of Rachel mocking a special needs student, a clip Emma had never even seen. The internet exploded. Rachel's sponsors dropped her, colleges withdrew their interest, and she was suspended pending investigation. The once untouchable queen was now hated. But Emma wasn't done. A week later, she walked into school for the first time with her head high, wearing a simple shirt that read, "The art speaks for itself." As she passed through the halls, people stared, not with mockery this time, but respect. Even the teachers nodded. Still, Rachel confronted her after school, her voice shaking with rage. "You ruined me," she yelled. "You did that yourself," Emma replied softly, "I just drew the truth." Rachel lunged at her again, but this time, 2 students stepped in, boys from the basketball team who used to laugh at Emma before. They stopped Rachel, and for the first time, Emma realized she wasn't alone anymore. Word spread that Emma had been accepted into a prestigious art competition in New York for her viral project. Reporters began calling her the silent artist who spoke loudest. The school even hosted an exhibit of her work. But what no one knew was that Emma had another series, drawings she hadn't released yet. They showed redemption, healing, and forgiveness. She painted Rachel again, but this time, as a girl standing in the rain, washing off her mask. When Rachel saw it, she broke down. She apologized publicly, her voice trembling as she admitted everything she'd done. It didn't erase the past, but it started to mend something. Months passed. Emma graduated with honors and gave the most unexpected speech. "When you're humiliated in front of 200 people," she said, "you think your story ends there. But sometimes, that's when it actually begins. Because pain is a pencil, It draws your real strength if you're brave enough to use it. The auditorium erupted in applause. Even Rachel stood and clapped through tears. Years later, Emma became a renowned artist, her exhibition, Scars That Speak, touring across the world. She never mentioned names, never sought revenge. Her art did the talking. And sometimes, when she received letters from students who said her story gave them courage to face their own bullies, she would smile quietly, because she remembered the slap, the laughter, the humiliation, and how it forged her into something unbreakable. But fate, as always, had one last twist. On the anniversary of that day, she returned to Jefferson High for an event, only to find Rachel waiting with a painting of her own, a portrait of Emma, smiling, standing tall amidst the crowd that once mocked her. "You changed everything," Rachel whispered. And for the first time, Emma hugged her. In that moment, the circle of pain finally closed, replaced by something far stronger, respect. She walked out of that gymnasium with the same quiet calm she had the day of the slap, but this time, the world was listening. Subscribe now for more powerful, real-life stories that prove one moment of courage can rewrite an entire life.